AI has become a new buzzword. Everyone is learning it, building models, finishing courses. But very few actually reach the industry level understanding. Most learners think like students, not like engineers or businesses. And unless you make that mindset shift, your skills will stay stuck in your laptop, never creating value for anyone. I'm Akash Gupta, and here we bridge the gap between learning AI and using it like the industry does. So, let us talk about why most learners get stuck and how you can move ahead. Let us decode 6 reasons that stop most learners and how you can fix them. So, the first reason is they learn but do not build systems that create value. Let us start with the harsh truth. What are you ultimately aspiring for? A good job? A good salary? Right? Now pause and think. Where will the company get that salary from? From the products it sells? And where does the company earn when users use those products? Now tell me, will your Jupyter notebook sitting in drive D of your laptop make the company earn? Of course not. Until your model becomes usable through an app, an API, or a product interface, it has zero business value. That is exactly why companies do not care if you have just coded something. They care if you can make it usable, something that customers can interact with. That is where deployment comes in. That is where front end APIs and cloud matter. Because in the real world, if your model is not deployed, it doesn't exist. Second reason is they study algorithms, not problems. Most learners start with algorithms. They say, I will learn random forest, then CNN, then LSTM. But the industry does not start with algorithms. It starts with problems. Nobody in a company will ever say, hey, use XGBoost for this. They will say, here's the data, here's the issue, can you solve it? That is when your thinking matters. For example, in healthcare, if you are predicting whether a patient has a disease, it is often more important to catch every positive case even when you make a few false alarms. So you would optimize for recall, not accuracy. In finance, if you are flagging fraudulent transactions, you would prefer high precision because a false fraud alert costs customers trust. See the differences. In the industry, the problem and the domain decide which algorithm and metric to use, not the other way around. So instead of asking which model should I apply, ask what am I solving and what matters most here: accuracy, recall, speed, or cost. The third reason is they avoid backend APIs and deployment. This is the biggest technical barrier for learners. They learn TensorFlow, PyTorch, and scikit-learn and whatnot. But when it is time to deploy, they panic. I don't know backend or cloud. But that is exactly what companies look for because they need engineers who can take a model from idea to product to user. So you can start simple. You can use Streamlit or Gradio for your first two projects, then move to Fast API or Flask once you are comfortable. Finally, deploy on Render or Railway cloud platforms that show your work to the world. Once you have done this, your portfolio shifts from student experiments to industry grade solutions. Fourth reason is they chase accuracy, not impact. Many learners get obsessed with metrics. They will say, I got 99% accuracy. Oh, it looks good. But 98% accuracy on a useless problem means nothing. The industry doesn't pay for high accuracy, it pays for high impact. It is about saving time, cutting cost, or improving user experience. And sometimes even a 90% accurate model that runs faster and integrates smoothly is far more valuable than a 99% model that is impossible to deploy. So start thinking in terms of value, not vanity, because that is how companies think too. Fifth reason is they ignore domain understanding. AI does not live in isolation. It exists inside the domains, be it healthcare, finance, education, logistics, marketing, and many more. But most learners keep building the same public data set projects like Titanic survival, house prices, MNIST digits. But in the industry, domain knowledge is what gives your project meaning. Even if you pick one area, say education analytics or customer behavior, you will immediately start thinking like an industry professional, not just a coder. And then last, they learn randomly, not progressively. Finally, the learning process itself. Most people jump from one buzzword to another. machine learning to deep learning to LLMs to Gen AI without building depth anywhere. But in AI, each layer depends on the previous one. Your learning roadmap should look like this. You can start with Python plus statistics. Second could be machine learning. Third is deep learning. Fourth, you can choose any one of them like NLP or computer vision. Fifth, APIs plus deployment. And sixth could be LLMs and Gen AI. If you follow this flow, you will not only understand concepts, you will also connect them the way professionals do. So here is the truth. The gap between an AI learner and an AI engineer is not knowledge. It is application, direction, and business sense. You can know 100 algorithms, but if your model does not solve a problem, generate value, or reach users, it is just a file in your laptop. Start building systems, solve real problems, make your models usable. That is how you cross from learner to industry ready professional. If this video helped you think differently, so subscribe to Concepts of AI for more practical AI insights that actually matter in your career.